let's get into the album review. This one's a big one, the very first one of 2023. So decided to go big. We're gonna do four albums.
Quad.
Yeah, four albums in one.
Hashtag quad albums. I
So
don't
we're going to be talking about Weezer's latest set of releases from last year. Their four-album musical project called Seasons. This was released over a one-year span last year. It's very, I guess the theme of it is very Vivaldi inspired because each album is titled Spring, Summer, Autumn, Winter. Um, each was released on the first of each seasonal solstice, so March 20th, June 21st, September 22nd, and December 21st. Rivers Cuomo would describe each album as happy, chill, stress-free acoustic for spring, 21st century 90s, and youthful indignation for summer, dance rock for autumn, and lots of loss, despair, and kind of quiet for winter. So that's how Rivers has described the four albums by Weezer. But ambitious project, I would say. But Eric, your general thoughts on all four of these albums altogether?
I I'll first off saying I like Weezer. Weezer is a great band. I think that they're like, that kind of nerdy rock that's just like kind of in us all as musicians kind of thing, right? Like we struggle with like, yeah, everybody thinks, oh, musicians are the cool, like, Mick Jaggers of the world or David Bowie's or,
Mm.
Freddie Mercury's, but in most of us, we always feel like we're nerdy in the sense that we're like
Yeah, the
we,
band geek.
yeah, the band geeks, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I think I love about Weezer is that they really embrace it. They just don't give a shit. Um, these I really like the concept of what these guys are going for. Like, but I will say I feel like Rivers Cuomo is losing his mind a little bit in some of these songs. Now I think it's really cool, like for instance, Spring, right? I feel like each album definitely has a bit of a theme to it,
Mm.
right? Like Spring, it's like very like everything's blooming sounds. I kind of like the way that they kind of sung along pretty much and made a rock version of Vivaldi.
It was
Right,
weird.
like
Yeah, yeah,
opening night, like
yeah.
yeah, it's like really like, and he's singing with the melody, which is kind of interesting but also just a bit like, no.
Yeah.
um but I feel like the singles definitely on this 4 EP or these four albums are like really shine. They're definitely really radio worthy.
Yep.
But there are songs on here that I feel like I said, he's losing his mind. And like the biggest example that I'll use is actually on the Winter album,
Oh, I think I know what song.
which is the first
I want
track.
a
I
dog.
Want a Dog. Yes, yes. I
It's the
literally was listening. I was
weirdest
listening to
song.
this and I'm like, oh my god, I feel like he's like he's like losing his mind.
It's so
Like.
strange, the concept of the song. Like, I was like,
Mhm.
why the frick did he write this song?
Yeah, and even like I feel like out of the albums, this was the weaker one, Winter. I just feel like it was literally just like the lyrics were just like it's just like someone thinking, right? Like,
Mm,
oh, I see a train, I'm waiting for a bus, right? Like, what am I going to do today? Like it's just those kind of style of lyrics, which I'm not really into.
I didn't understand why
Um,
basketball was on Winter.
yeah,
Because,
that was
like,
another.
why the frick? Like, basketball
Yeah.
as a title for a song seems like just a working title. It doesn't seem like an
Mhm.
official title for a song.
I feel like they could really like I love the idea behind this,
Mm.
but I feel like they really like started off strong at the beginning and then slowly declined by the end because definitely Spring felt very like vibrant like
Hmm.
in terms of the songs, like it was very like even as though as like opening night was, for instance, like singing along with the actual classical version, right, of the song. Like yes, it's weird, but it's actually like okay, well, kind of like brings it. Yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
springish,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right? But where and then summer, I felt like it was very like almost like clubbish, like
Mm.
you're going out to the bars, right? I definitely felt that with summer. Autumn was interesting. It definitely had more of like a heavier vibe
Yep.
to it. But then winter, I felt like they just were just like, yeah, like, we're just tired of doing this and let's just come out with whatever we have.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know about these albums, to be honest. Like, I wouldn't say they're bad albums. Like, all of them, they sounded like fine enough. They sounded good. There
Hmm.
were definitely catchy songs, like definitely songs that like are on the radio right now, and like, oh, that's pretty cool. But like, definitely lyrically, there were some puzzling things. Like on
I
Summer,
want a dog
or I
that
wanted.
cuddles beside me. Like, it was literally like, it was almost like he was act like as like a cry for help. Please help me.
Yeah,
Mm.
like those choices, or like Comoville on Summer, the second to last track.
Hmm.
It's like,
That was a terrible
what
song.
the hell what what is this? But
Hmm.
like, I don't know, it there was something also appealing to all this music, because it was like, as you said, it was like that music nerd geekiness about it, that I was like, this only could be done by Weezer. So like, there was a
Yeah.
certain appeal to it, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know if this needed to be done this way, as like a
Hmm.
spring, autumn, fall, winter. It's like, you could have probably cut out half of this and then just made it like a double album or something.
Yeah. Like, it would be neat if they actually came out with the EPs. Like I know these are technically EPs
Mm,
essentially, but like it would be neat if they came out with EPs, like three songs, three or four maybe
mm, yeah.
songs, and then at the end, like New Year, January, you come out with like the first like the fall like season special edition and maybe add a couple songs or something on
Mm,
there.
right.
But yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So like, I wouldn't say it's bad by any means. Like, it's definitely a solid Weezer release, set of releases. I just don't
Hmm.
know if it didn't blow my mind at any point. Like, at no point was I
No.
like, these are amazing songs. There was maybe a few that were catchy, maybe like Records off of Summer, but like,
Mhm.
beyond that, it was like, okay, it's pretty Weezery.
Yeah.
um all right. Let's give this a final thoughts and ratings. What do you think about the seasons as a whole?
I really like the idea. I think it's neat, especially for rock music, right?
Hmm.
Oh God, I'm gonna sneeze now. Here, hang on a second.
Oh, here we go. Here it comes.
No, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, it's gone.
Okay, so I felt like the I really liked the singles on the album, which made the radio. A little bit of love, definitely a typical Weezer
Oh,
song,
yes,
right?
yes, yes.
I like the song "Records" on Summer
Yep.
because it's almost like it kind of plays into that sound where the like top 40 plays those same damn songs over and over again, and you have the song stuck in your head, and you're
Yep.
just God damn it, I hate this song. So I thought that was kind of funny, like it kind of played on that, which I liked. In Autumn, I actually really liked Francesca. That was my favorite song off the
Okay.
album. It was
Okay.
kind of a slower song. It kind of reminded me very of autumnish,
Mhm.
like things are starting to die right in
Mhm.
autumn. I felt like the winter album is the weakest one out of all of them. Um, I feel like they pushed too hard to have too many Christmas,
Sleigh
like,
bells. Yeah.
yeah, like stuff in there, which you didn't really have to do
Mhm.
because like the whole part of Vivaldi's like seasons was to like sound like it's the seasons that are happening, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I feel like okay, you're just adding in Christmas because it's a novelty, which I felt like they could have gotten away with, but
Yeah.
um, I felt like that was definitely the weaker album as a whole. If I'm like we're rating this as a whole,
As a
right?
whole. Yeah.
Okay, I would give this a 5 out of 10.
Yeah. What? 5 out of 10.
Yeah,
Really? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would give this a 5 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed more albums more. So it's more of an average. It's
Average
more of
then.
an average
Right,
of
right, right, right,
the
right.
score, which Winter is bringing it down
Mm.
significantly. So,
Yeah, like it's not a bad album. It's not a great album or set of albums. But it's also like, it's enjoyable enough to listen to.
mhm.
And to be honest, I didn't feel like it was a chore to listen to all four albums front to
Yeah,
back. That was one thing that I did appreciate. Maybe because it's the length of each individual EP, but it didn't seem like a chore to listen to, so I did appreciate that. For me, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 because I
mhm.
just think the concept is interesting enough to push it up. I just don't think they executed it quite as well as they could have. They should have just trimmed a lot of the fat and made it like 3 or 4 songs each album.
With that being said, if you had to tell our audience which one to listen to, which one would you tell them
Ooh.
to listen to?
Um the problem is I really, out of all the songs, I like Records the best.
Mhm.
I think Spring is the better album. I'd probably go with Spring because it's like, I think as an album that works the best.
I would be the same.
Yeah.
I would definitely be the same. Like I really like records, like you said.
Yeah.
And there are songs on Autumn that I really like, but I think Spring is the better listen.
Yeah.
Especially because if you really want a good Weezer experience, listen to Spring.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
because like I feel like and I stand by this. And maybe one day we actually have famous people showing up as guests on this podcast that I feel like they would say, yeah, we had such ambitions at the beginning, but then something happened with the record company where they lost interest as they
Mm,
were doing it. So I
right.
feel like Spring is where they put 100% of their work into, and then
Right.
it slowly just started to decline.
Right, right,
So
right. Yeah. Anyways, a 6 for me, just an overall. It's it's still worth a listen. I would say
mhm.
it's not the best Weezer releases, I would say.
I would say if you're like a really music aficionado, I feel like with classical music, that's where we don't have nowadays in music, right?
Mm,
Classical, you can get a whole like, seasons kind of like concept behind the album, like this whole dramatic story
yep.
kind of thing. I feel like you do get it from here, but not as much as you would obviously a classical
Yep.
like, segment, but it is a cool concept, and I hope more bands kind of start doing something similar to this because
Yeah. Agree. Totally agree. Cause I don't know, releasing just like a collection of songs, like, why does it need to be an album?
yeah, it could be
They-
a concept. Tell a story,
yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, that was our discussion about Seasons by Weezer, all four all four albums. So that was a decent amount. For those of you following along with us every single week, the album that we are going to be talking about next week is Iggy Pop's new record, Every Loser. I think it came out possibly last Friday or something like that. So it's a really new record. I think for 2023 we aren't going to be doing a lot of classic records. I think we're gonna aim to do new releases as much as possible.
Nice.
So that's sort of the plan going forward. So Iggy Pop's Every Loser. We'll see how this goes. But it should be exciting. So let's wrap this up. We aren't doing a thief or not a thief this week because I figured we'd go a bit over time today. But controversial statements for this week. Why does Smash Mouth have a career? It's a question I ask myself every day.
Absolutely.
All right, perfect. So that is it. Let me just update the screen. that's it for the podcast. Thanks to everyone tuning in here at twitch.tv/the Crossroads Music Podcast, listening to the live stream every Monday at 10 p.m. ET, 7 p.m. PT. But, listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, all the places where you get podcasts. We'll catch you all next week here, same place, same time. Eric, any thoughts, closing thoughts, words of recognition, words of wisdom to wrap up this first episode of 2023?
Happy New Year, everybody. I don't know. Keep listening to music. I got nothing to say to you people. Tune in. Yeah. Argue on the podcast. We want to listen to the, to your controversials. Like try to challenge us. Like let's make 2023 the Music Crossroads podcast year. Let's make it the year.
And thank you, Chasing Dragonflies, for putting the Discord link in chat. But in the Discord, I made a prediction for 2023. I'm predicting that Kanye West's new album that's going to be released in 2023 is going to be his best album that he's ever created.
It's going to be fire. That's what I saw. That just after I commented, I saw that, and I figured there's no way you're commenting that on me. Like, we definitely went on at the same time, wanted to put our own little nuances on there. So
that's my prediction. Let's
do it, everybody.
All right,
let's do it.
Perfect. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We'll catch you all next time.
Peace.